Hello everyone, so welcome to section 5 of module 4, and we'll be discussing data breaches in this section. It's a relatively short section, and this will conclude module 4, so let's start. So let's begin by first defining what exactly is a data breach. And the way we've defined it is as an organization's unauthorized or unintentional exposure, disclosure, or loss of sensitive personal information. To investigate a data breach, it is important to ask the following questions. How did the breach occur? What data has been breached? What computer or record-keeping systems have been compromised by the breach? And whether or not the breach is ongoing, and knowing exactly where the compromised data is located and who was affected by the data breach. Each agency should have specific protocols and procedures in place to address any data breaches that may occur. Now let's look at securing data and data breach notification. To secure data, attempt to retrieve and secure lost or stolen data. Communicate the implications to any external recipients of breached data. You want to disconnect from the internet. You want to make sure you shut down your computer systems and reset any pertinent passwords. You also want to try to limit staff and vendor access to the data, especially those involved in the incident. And you may want to hire computer or security experts as well. And you want to identify any legal funding sources for requirements pertaining to data breaches. If a data breach has occurred, you have to determine how exactly is the notification process going to take place. And notification should include providing dates of the breach and when it was discovered, describing what happened and what information was involved. Data breach notification should also outline steps that affected individuals should take to protect themselves and provide contact information for individuals to gain additional details or report harmful impacts of the breach. And as always, you always want to reference your agency's protocols in regard to securing this data and how exactly our client's going to be notified. And I know it's something that throughout the course of these modules, we've always emphasized protocols and going back to your agency and taking a look at them. But protocols, I can't emphasize enough how important they are to have. If a data breach does happen to occur at your agency, the next step, of course, will be how do we prevent it from reoccurring? And preventing reoccurrence of data breaches entails documentation of the incident that actually occurred and what response was taken to address that incident. It may entail retraining staff on confidentiality practices, revisiting those agency policies and procedures, and also possibly installing new computer security systems if those were compromised in the data breach. Congratulations, this concludes section 5 of module 4. Before moving on to the assessment, we do ask you to attempt the activity below just to review some of the key concepts we've discussed. And before proceeding to module 5, do complete the assessment, which will assess you on everything that's been covered in module 4. And once you've completed the assessment and have received a satisfactory score of 80% or above, you may move on to module 5. Thank you.